Hare Krishna. Is it live? Okay. Okay. Hare Krishna. Thank you all for joining. Especially devotees have joined online on some other social media like maybe or YouTube others. So welcome. We have a Wednesday evening class in ISV, basically from ISV, but it's a Zoom call. It happens at 7 o'clock and it goes up till 8:30. So what we'll do is we'll start with the chapter 9, Chad. It's called chapter a day. As Yoshiro mentions, we should read every day one chapter of Bhagavad Gita. So we have started chapter 9 now. So what we'll do is we'll go through the verses of chapter 9. And after that, we'll do Jai Radha Madhav Bhajan. And then we'll start our session. So Ashram Madhav Prabhu, if you can.
Yes, I'll go ahead and share this screen.
You can do only verses. Yeah, thank you, Prabhuji. So we can start with the chanting of the verses from 9th chapter. Chapter 9, the most confidential knowledge. Shri Bhagwan Uvacha Idam tu te guhyatamam pravakshami anusuyave jnanam vijnana sahitam yajgyatva mokshase shubhat rajavidya rajaguhyam pavitram idamuttamam pratyakshaavagamam dharmyam susukham kartum avyayam अश्रद्धाना पुरुषा धर्मस्यास्य परन्तप अप्राप्य मां निवर्तन्ते मृत्यु संसार वर्त्मनि मया ततमिदं सर्वं जगदव्यक्तमूर्तिना मत्स्थानि सर्वभूतानि न चाहं तेषु अवस्थिता न च मत्स्थानि भूतानि पश्य मे योगमैश्वरं भूतभृन्न च भूतस्थो ममात्मा भूतभावना यथाकाशास्थितो नित्यं वायु सर्वत्र गो महान् तथा सर्वाणि भूतानि मत्स्थानि उपधारय सर्वभूतानि कौन्तेय प्रकृतिं यान्ति मामिकां कल्पक्षये पुनस्तानि कल्पातो विसृजाम्यहम् प्रकृतिं स्वामवस्था प्रकृतिं स्वाम् अवष्टभ्य विसृजामि पुनः पुनः भूतग्रामम् इमं कृत्स्नम् अवशं प्रकृतेर्वशात् न च मां तानि कर्माणि निबध्नन्ति धनञ्जय उदासीन वदासीनम् असक्तं तेषु कर्मसु मयाध्यक्षेण प्रकृति सूयते सचराचरं हेतुनानेन कौन्तेय जगद्विपरिवर्तते अवजानन्ति मां मूढा मानुषीं तनुमाश्रितम् उदा मानुषीं तनुमाश्रितं परं भावमजानन्तो मम भूतमहेश्वरं मोगाशामोगकर्माणो मोगज्ञानविचेतसः राक्षसीमासुरीं चैव प्रकृतिं मोहिनीं श्रिता महात्मानस्तु मां पार्थ दैवीं प्रकृतिमाश्रित भजन्त्यनन्यमनसो ज्ञात्वभूतादिमव्ययम् सततं कीर्तयन्तो माम् इदन्तश्च दृढव्रत नमस्यन्त नमस्यन्तश्च मां भक्त्या नित्ययुक्त उपासते ज्ञानयज्ञेन चाप्यन्ये यजन्तो माम् उपासते एकत्वेन पृथक्त्वेन बहुधा विश्वतो मुखम् अहं क्रतुरहं यज्ञ स्वदाहम् अहमौषधं मन्त्रोऽहम् अहम् एवाज्यम् अहम् अग्निरहमुतम् पिताहम् अस्य जगतो माता धाता पितामह वेद्यं पवित्रम् ओंकार ऋक्साम यजुरेव च गतिर्भर्ता प्रभु साक्षी निवास शरणं सुहृत् प्रभव प्रलयस्थानं निदानं बीजमव्ययम् तपाम्यहम् अहं वर्षं निगृह्णामि सृजामि च अमृतं चैव मृत्युश्च सद् असच्चाहम् अर्जुन त्रैविद्यमां सोम पापूत पापा यज्ञैरिष्ट्वा स्वर्गतिं प्रार्थयन्ते ते पुण्यमासाद्य सुरेन्द्रलोकम् अश्नन्ति दिव्या दिवि देव भोगान् ते तं भुक्त्वा स्वर्गलोकं विशालं क्षीणे पुण्ये पुण्यमर्त्यलोकं विशन्ति एवं त्रयी धर्ममनुप्रपन्ना गतागतं कामकामा लभन्ते अनन्यश्चिन्तयन्तो मां ये जना पर्युपासते तेषां नित्यभियुक्तानां योगक्षेमं वहाम्यहम् येऽप्यन्न देवता भक्ता यजन्ते श्रद्धयान्विता तेऽपि मामेव कौन्तेय यजन्ति अवधिपूर्वकम् अहं हि सर्वयज्ञानां भोक्ता च प्रभुरेव च न तु माम् अभिजानन्ति तत्त्वेन तस्यवन्ति ते यान्ति देवव्रता देवा पुत्र यान्ति पितृव्रता भूतानि यान्ति भूतेज्य यान्ति मम याजिनोऽपि माम् पत्रं पुष्पं फलं तोयं यो मे भक्त्या प्रयच्छति तदहं भक्त्योपारितम् अश्नामि प्रयतात्मनः यत् करोषि यदश्नासि यज्जुहोषि ददासि यत् यत् तपस्यसि कौन्तेय तत्कुरुष्व मदर्पणम् शुभ फलैरेवं मोक्षसे कर्म बंधने संन्यास योग युक्तात्मा विमुक्तो माम उपश्यसि समोहम सर्वभूतेषु न मे द्वेष्यस्ति न प्रियः ये भजन्ति तु मां भक्त्या मयि ते तेषु चाप्यहम् अपि चेत् सुदुराचारो भजते माम् अनन्यभाक् साधुरेव समन्तव्य सम्यग् योस्तुभिः सह क्षिप्रं भवति धर्मात्मा शश्वत शान्तिं निगच्छति कौन्तेय प्रतिजानीहि न मे भक्त प्रणश्यति मामि पार्थ विपाश्रित्य येऽपि स्युपापयोनय स्त्रियो वैश्य तथा शूद्रस्तेऽपि यान्ति परां गतिं किं पुनर्ब्रह्मणा पुण्या भक्ता रजश्रेयस्तथा अनित्यमसुखं लोकम् इमं प्राप्य भजस्व मां मन्मना भव मद्भक्तो मद्याजी मां नमस्कुरु मामैव शस्य युक्त एवम् आत्मानां मत्परायणः हरि ओम ओम तत्सत थैंक यू प्रभु जी we will now chant Prabhuji if you possible you can increase the font it will be more clear. I don't know about for others, but yeah. This is good. This is good. Thank you, Prabhuji. Okay, now we will do Jai Radha Madhav prayers. These are actually bhajan, glorifying Lord Krishna and the beautiful gopis, damsels of Vraja. Okay, by the time Prabhuji is showing, we can start. Oh, if you are not able to find, we can just you can just do KK songs, Jai Radha Madhav KK songs. There also you will find it easily. Okay, maybe we can start and Prabhuji can by the time show the slides. Or
Yeah, I'll try to find it meanwhile.
Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunda Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Vihari Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Yash Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Yashodanandana Jaya Vrajajana Ranjana Jaya Vrajajana Ranjana Jaya Yashodanandana Jaya Vrajajana Ranjana Jaya Vrajajana Ranjana Jaya Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Kunja Vihari Jaya Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Vihari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Madan Mohan, Radha Madan Mohan, Jai Shri Radhe. Jai Radha Madan Mohan, Radha Madan Mohan, Jai Shri Radhe. Jaya Narsimha Dev, Narsimha Dev, Narsimha Dev, Jaya Narsimha Dev. Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Mahaprabhu, 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 Jaya Mahaprabhu, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Premanandi, Hari Hari Bol. Yeah. Puji, we can do the Mangalacharan prayers. Then we can. I'll start. By the time you can show. Okay.
Oh, I thought I was sharing.
ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं त्वं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादां सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Radharani Swamiti Namine. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swamiti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Gauravani Vicharini Dvisheshunyavadi Pashtadeshtarine. Mukam Karoti Vachala Pangum Langate Girim Yat Kripatamaham Bande Shri Guru Nindanam Param. Hare Krishna. Okay. So Prabhuji, we can go to 9th chapter, verse number 11. Before that, while you were reading the chapter a day, first of all, thank you so much, everyone, for joining for the Wednesday evening class. It's a tough thing to join during evening, especially during the weekdays, but you have taken your time for joining, so very grateful. Also, thankful to Priya Kishori Mataji and Shivasmin Prabhu for giving an opportunity to glorify Krishna and his devotees. Today, when I was just at 6 o'clock, I was just going through the verse that I was thinking of speaking on. I was just thinking, just getting a chance to speak on Krishna helps us to meditate on Krishna's lotus feet and Krishna's form, Krishna's beauty. So, in one sense, this glorification helps us for our purification. So, very grateful to the Vaishnavas for giving this opportunity. While we were reading the chapter a day, there was a verse where it says, Yoga Kshemam Vahamyaham, where Krishna is saying to Arjuna that I carry, basically, I protect devotees, whatever they are carrying. And if something is lacking, then I will provide that. So, yesterday I was reading this story to my daughter. It's from Gita stories, this story. There was once a Brahmana who went for Madhukari. Madhukari means how bees go flower to flower to get some honey. So madhu means honey. Similarly, the Brahmanas during olden times, they used to go from home to home to get some foodstuffs, which they can offer to the Lord, and then they can honor it. So like that, there was one Brahmana who was going one day to various places for Madhukari to get some foodstuffs, and somehow he didn't get any foodstuff. So when he came back home, he opened the book Bhagavad Gita and he was reading the 9th chapter, the verse where it's mentioned Yoga Kshemam Vahamyaham. So when he was reading that verse, that Krishna mentions that I provide what someone lacks, and I protect which a devotee already has. So this Brahmana was thinking that Krishna is saying this, but today I did not get anything. So really Krishna provides. So, and he had such a hard day. Sometimes when we have a very hard day in office, we start questioning. He really, what is the point? So like that, this Brahmana was thinking that is really Krishna protecting a devotee? So he got so frustrated with his entire day. He scratched that line where it was mentioned Yoga Kshema Mahamyam. That line he scratched, and then he went again to take a bath. So while he was taking a bath, his someone knocked at the door of his door, and his good wife opened the door, and there was a young boy who had some bag of grains, foodstuffs, and everything. So his wife, that Brahmana's wife, asked the young boy that what is this? So he said, I've been appointed by your husband to get some foodstuffs, so grains and all. So I brought today for you, and I'm his disciple. So this wife was wondering, my husband has no disciples. How come this guy has come and he's saying his disciple, and plus he also appointed, he's himself struggling to meet his chores, and this guy has appointed one person to get the foodstuff. So she was confused. He said, no, 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 my husband doesn't have any disciples. He said, no, 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 he has. In fact, he chastised me because I did not provided him the foodstuffs. So she said, chastised you? He's a very simple person. He doesn't get angry. He said, no, 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 he got angry. And then that boy showed his back where there were marks. So marks of the cane or something. So this wife got little angry on her husband that how can he behave like this. So anyways, he took the foodstuff, and she asked the young boy to come inside, welcomed him inside, but the young boy said, no, 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 your husband will beat me, I will run. and he ran away. And his wife was constantly getting, internally she was getting angry on her husband, that how her husband can behave like this. So when her husband came out of the taking bath, so she first chastised him, that how can you behave like this. And then she said that there was a boy who came, who gave some foodstuffs, and he showed her his back, and there was marks. And he said that you hit him, and he also gave some foodstuffs. And then the Brahmana understood that that young boy who had come was actually Krishna. And then he ran into the room, and he opened the same page where he had scratched that line, Yogakshemam Mahamyam, and that scratch was no longer there. So Brahmana was thinking that I have no faith on Krishna. And that is why, and my wife, simple village girl, it's shown in Srimad Bhagavatam, in the Brahmana Patnis, who had Yagya Patnis, who had complete faith in Krishna. But the Yagya Pati, but basically the Pati, the husbands who are doing the Yagyas, who are doing the Yagya of Krishna, but they had no faith on Krishna, in Krishna. But the Brahmana Patnis, the Yagya Patnis, who were doing, whose husbands were doing the yajna, she had complete faith in Krishna. So here also we see that the wife had faith in Krishna, and so Brahmana was thinking that my wife had faith in Krishna, and that's why Krishna showed his form to my wife. But because I lacked faith in Krishna, I couldn't see that form. So we see that, and today's verse is actually based on that. When we don't have faith in Krishna, we see Krishna as a very ordinary person. First, I was thinking of naming the title as Krishna is an extraordinary person. But an extraordinary person, we might use it for any personality, right? Extraordinary, he is extraordinary. But Krishna is beyond extraordinary also. So I didn't know what is the superlative of extraordinary. So I was thinking Acyuta. Acyuta means one who doesn't fall, right? We sometimes give a negative, uh, not we use the word because we don't know what is the superlative of it. So then I was thinking maybe something like not an ordinary person, because he's something extraordinary. He's great. So we'll discuss on that why Krishna is such an extraordinary, or beyond that also, and why Mudha take Krishna as something very ordinary person. Manushim Tanumashritam. So what we'll do is we will read the verse first 3 times. We'll read it, and after that we'll read the translation, and we'll read the purport, and then we'll discuss. It's a huge purport, so we'll discuss some part of the purport, and if time permits, we'll discuss the entire section. Okay, so we'll discuss first. We'll read the purport 3 times. We'll read the verse 3 times. These verses are in Anushtup. It's exactly 32 syllables, divided into 4 quadrants, 8 syllables each. अवजानन्तीं मामूढा मानुषीं तनुमाश्रितं परं भावं जानन्तो मम भूता महेश्वरम् अवजानन्तीं मामूढा मानुषीं तनुमाश्रितं परं भावं जानन्तो मम भूता महेश्वरम् अवजानन्तीं मामूढा मानुषीं तनुमाश्रितं परं भावं जानन्तो मम भूता महेश्वरम्. Here bhuta means living entities, not bhuta means ghosts. And Maha Ishwar. There is a devotee in London. His name is Bhuta Bhavana Prabhu, Bhuta Bhavana Das. So, who is very merciful to all living entities, Bhuta. So, Avajananti, deride. Ma, me. Mudha is foolish men. Manushim, in a human form. Tanum, a body. Ashritam, assuming. Param, transcendental. Bhavam, nature. Ajananta, not knowing. Mama, my. Bhuta, of everything that be. Maha Ishwaram, the supreme proprietor. Maha Ishwaram. So, translation. Fools deride me when I descend in the human form. They do not know my transcendental nature as a supreme lord of all that be. So Krishna is saying to Arjuna, Mahadakshina, before that verse he's saying, the 9th chapter starts, the entire Bhagavad Gita is divided into 3 parts. The first 6 chapters talks about Karma Yoga. The last 6 chapters talks about Jnana Yoga. And the middle 6 chapters, the cream of the entire Bhagavad Gita, the middle 6 chapters, 7 to 12, talks about Bhakti Yoga. And in that middle 6 chapters, the middle chapter, 9th chapter, is the most confidential knowledge. That is the name of the chapter is Guhyatamam. The confidential knowledge that is discussed in Bhagavad Gita is in chapter 2nd, where Krishna talks about matter, spirit, all that, right? He talks about how the body, Dehi no smita deha, kaumaram yovajanchara, tada dehantara prabh, dhira satramyati, tolerance. He talks about all that. That is the guhya, that is secret, that is confidential knowledge. But there is more confidential knowledge that is discussed in Bhakti Yoga section, chapter 7 and chapter 8, where Krishna talks about the concept of God. 7th and 8th chapter, where he talks about Bhakti Yoga. In the 9th chapter, Krishna talks about more Guhyatamam, most confidential knowledge about what is that Bhakti Yoga, how one performs Bhakti Yoga, what are the integrated details about Bhakti Yoga, how one performs, that is mentioned in 9th chapter 26 verse. Patram pushpam phalam toyam yome bhaktya prachit tadaham bhakti uparatam ashnamim pratatmana. Sometimes we might think that something to achieve highest, we have to do something complex thing. But Krishna is saying, Patram pushpam phalam toyam. Do something simple and I will be very pleased. Yat karoshi dashnasi, yat jahoshi dadasi, yat tapasyati kaunte, tat karoshi mandarpanam. Krishna is saying that do whatever you are doing, just remember me and do. Keep me in the center and do. So, 9th chapter is considered as the Guhyatamam, the most confidential knowledge that Krishna is giving. So, we are very grateful. We are very fortunate and grateful also for having this chat where we are getting a chance to read entire Bhagavad Gita. And this quarter, we are reading 9th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Okay, we'll do the purport now. From the other explanations of previous verse, this purport is given by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. From the other explanations of the previous verses in this chapter, it is clear that Supreme Personality of Godhead, although appearing like a human being, is not a common man. The personality of Godhead, who conducts the creation, maintenance, and annihilation of the complete cosmic manifestation, cannot be a human being. Yet there are many foolish men who consider Krishna to be merely a powerful man and nothing more. Actually, he is the original Supreme Personality, as is confirmed in the Brahma Samhita. Ishvara Parama Krishna. He is the Supreme Lord. We see that merely a human powerful man. We see that in the story of Duryodhan, when Krishna came as Shantidut, as the peace messenger, and suddenly he showed his Vishwaroop when Duryodhan was trying to capture Krishna, and then he thought he's some kind of Mayavi, right? Some powerful man, but he couldn't understand that actually Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead, and because of that, fools deride him as a ordinary man because they think that because he's showing something simple things, or sometimes he's just eating when once he goes to some pasturing grounds for with the cows, and there he's eating the remnants which is all which his Gopa friends are eating, and Brahmaji sees that and he says, "It's such a normal person, and if Krishna is going to come as supreme Godhead, Krishna is coming, then I would be informed. I am the owner of the universe. I am the one who has created the universe. So I would obviously know, correct? Sometimes we think, obviously, right? That obviously. So Brahmaji was thought, obviously I will know. But then he tried to trick something with Krishna. And then he says that nobody can understand you. Lord Shiva is considered as the great Vaishnava. He also got into fight with Krishna in the pastime of Banasur. There also then he says, and then Mohini Murti is another pastime. And there he says that nobody can understand you, Krishna. Nobody can understand. Why? Because sometimes we forget his opulence. Sometimes we get so enamored by his sweetness, we forget his greatness. We forget his greatness. So here, Krishna is saying that one has to understand my opulence. Then one will not deride me. Right? There are many Ishwaras, controllers, and one appears greater than the another. In the ordinary management of affairs in the material world, we find some official or director, and above him there is secretary, and above him a minister, and above him a president. Each of them is a controller, but one is controlled by another. In the Brahma Samhita, it is said that Krishna is a supreme controller. He is a supreme controller, he is a supreme proprietor, he is a supreme enjoyer. He is all three. There are many controllers, undoubtedly, both in the material and spiritual world, but Krishna is the supreme controller, Ishvara Parama Krishna. See, again, Sri Prabhupada is mentioning because this is the most important verse of in the Vedic scriptures. The proof that Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. Sometimes people think that Vishnu is supreme, but Krishna is just one another personality. But Here is, and sometimes people think that Bhagwan is different and Ishwar is different. Both have different understanding. But here, that's why Brahmaji is saying Ishwara Parama Krishna. And his body is Satchidananda Vigraha. It's not an ordinary body. It's not a Manushim, like Srila Prabhupada says, blood, pus, not like that. It is made of Sat, Chit, and Ananda. It is non-material. It is completely spiritual. Material bodies cannot perform the wonderful acts described in previous verses. His body is eternal, blissful, and full of knowledge. Right? Eternal, Sat, Chit, blissful, and Ananda, full of knowledge. Although he is not a common man, the foolish deride him and consider him to be a man. That is the reason is because one has not understood Krishna's greatness completely. Sometimes we get so just seeing his sweetness. Oh, he's playing. He's a cowherd boy who is trying to steal butter. Seeing those pastimes, one sometimes Maya covers the intelligence, and one thinks him as a ordinary person. But why Krishna does this ordinary pastimes also? One is to increase the love with the devotees, increase the pastimes, the loving pastime with the devotees, but also to fool the foolish people. Because some people don't want to understand Krishna. Krishna will say, mentioned in Bhagavad Gita, some people want to be covered under Maya Shakti, and Krishna gives them the uh, platform by which they can be covered by showing some simple pastimes like living the world. Right? He lives the world in a very, very ordinary person way, and someone might feel that, oh, such Krishna, who is supreme God, is also living in such a leaving the world in such an ordinary way. That's because Krishna wants to actually uh, also want to cover those people who wants to remain in illusion. So Krishna is giving that ordinary ways also uh, of his life. But at the same time, Krishna is also showing his extraordinary personality part also, like lifting the Govardhana hill, fighting with so many demons, killing the demons. So one sometimes just sees the the ordinary dealings, but one should also see the extraordinary dealings of Krishna. His body is called here Manushim because he's acting just like a man. Why? To cover. One is to increase the dealings, loving dealings with his devotees, but also at the same time to cover illusion, to give illusion to the people who want to the atheists who want to remain in illusion. So he's acting like a man, a friend of Arjuna's, a politician. Imagine politician is right. He's politicizing everything. Who can win and all that, taking sides. Why he's doing that? To showcase that he's also an ordinary person to the people who want to see him like that. Involved in the battle of Kurukshetra. In so many ways, he's acting just like an ordinary man, but actually his body is Satchidananda Vigraha, eternal bliss, knowledge, absolute. This is confirmed in Vedic language also. Satchidananda Rupaya Krishnaya. So Rupaya, Krishna's form is Satchidananda. I offer my respectful obeisance unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, who is the eternal blissful form of knowledge. Gopal Tapani Upanishad 1.1. There are other descriptions in the Vedic language also. Tam ekam Govindam. You are Govinda. Govinda means one who gives pleasure to the cows and also to the pleasure of the senses. Govinda. Uh, and that is why we should take shelter of Krishna, because our senses can give pleasure. Can we think that our senses can have pleasure by some of the ulterior things of this world? Could be Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, all those things. But actually, when one takes shelter of Krishna at a purified state, then our senses also become very purified, and we take pleasure in that. Just by seeing Krishna's form, we take pleasure in that. Why? Because Krishna's form is so beautiful. Krishna's form is so beautiful. Yeah. Yet there are, you are Govinda, the pleasure of the senses and the cows, Sachidananda Vigraham, and your form is transcendental, full of knowledge, bliss, and eternity. Kopal Tapani Upanishad 1.38. We'll read one more paragraph and then we'll discuss. Despite these transcendental qualities of Lord Krishna's body, its full bliss and knowledge, there are many so-called scholars and commentators of Bhagavad Gita who deride Krishna as an ordinary man. Srila Prabhupada said that there was a man who wrote a commentary on Bhagavad Gita, and what he was trying to prove through that commentary was that Krishna, that one should fight for the nation. Why? Because he was a freedom fighter. So one is having an ulterior motive in writing the commentary on Bhagavad Gita. And Srila Prabhupada says in Bhagavad Gita. Very first thing that he writes, when he writes Bhagavad Gita, first thing that he says is that I've not added or subtracted anything from the previous acharyas, whatever I've learned. Usually we want to write something new, we want to showcase something new, which can show our our dexterity in speaking, right? But Srila Prabhupada, very humble position he takes, and he says, I've not added or subtracted anything from what I've learned from my previous acharyas. That is Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur, Bhakti Vinod Thakur, Rupa Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, and all the Shat Goswamis, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu, and all the previous acharyas, Madhvendra Puri. So here, Madhvacharya. So Krishna, Srila Prabhupada here is taking a humble position and saying that I have not added or subtracted anything new, right? But so-called scholars, they try to find their own ways in understanding Krishna, and they completely fail. The scholar may be born an extraordinary man due to his previous good work, but this conception of Sri Krishna is due to a poor fund of knowledge. Therefore, he is called Mudha. For only foolish persons consider Krishna to be an ordinary human being. So the opposite of Mudha. So here Mudha people take Krishna as ordinary human being. Then there is another verse in Bhagavad Gita where there is a word called Sammuda is used. Sammuda means intelligent person. So can we go to the 15th chapter of Bhagavad Gita? In the new tab, you can go to the 15th chapter. And I don't remember the verse, but you can go to the verses and search for Sammuda. Maybe I can also search. Sammuda. Sammudo. Yeah. Can you click on that? On the verse?
This one?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yeah, so here he's saying, Yomam evam sammudo janati purushottamam. He who completely understands me as the supreme personality of Godhead. There he is saying, who derides me. Why? Because he has not understood me properly. Correct? He has not understood me properly. And here Krishna is saying, who has understood me properly. Sa sarvavid bhajati mam sarva bhavena bharata. Without doubting, he is knower of everything. He therefore engages himself in full devotional service to me, O son of Bharata. So this is like antonym of the verse that we are reading. 9:11. The antonym is 15:19. Asam mudho. Basically a person who is not a muda. Asam mudho. Right? Uji, we can go back to the see here also, sorry bro, can you go back? Sorry, 15:19. In purport, first line, Krishna is Srila Prabhupada. Such amazing part. See, he's writing the same thing. There are many philosophical speculations about the constitutional position of the living entities and the supreme truth. And same thing, Srila Prabhupada is mentioning in that verse also. Correct? Well, it's connected. There are one side of people who don't understand Krishna properly, and there are other sides of people who understand Krishna properly. Right? So maybe we can read the little bit purport of this. Now, in this verse, the Supreme Person of Godhead clearly explains that anyone who knows Lord Krishna to be Supreme Person is actually the knower of everything. The imperfect knower goes on simply speculating about the absolute truth, but the perfect knower, without wasting his valuable time, engages directly in Krishna consciousness, the devotional service to the Supreme Lord. Throughout the whole of Bhagavad Gita, the fact is being stressed at every step. And Srila Prabhupada is also stressing this thing at every step. Once his disciple told Srila Prabhupada, we are writing the same thing again and again. We are not this body with the spirit soul. Krishna is supreme. We are the part and parcel of Krishna. Same thing again and again. And Krishna also is saying the same thing again and again in different ways in Bhagavad Gita. And then Srila Prabhupada, still we have not understood. Right? Still we have not understood. So that's why Srila Prabhupada again is saying the same thing, that how the philosophical speculations people have. Right? So he's saying here, but the perfect knower, without wasting his valuable time, engages directly in Krishna consciousness, the devotional service of the Supreme Lord. Throughout the whole of Bhagavad Gita, this fact is being stressed at every step. And still, there are so many stubborn commentators on Bhagavad Gita who consider the supreme absolute truth and the living entity to be one and the same. Right? So, can we go down? Just want to see what is covered in this. Okay, we'll go back to this. Actually, we'll go to the third verse, third paragraph. Sorry. Yeah, I'll just read the third paragraph. The word bhajati is very significant. Bhajati mam. Krishna is saying to Arjuna that one takes to the path of devotional service. Bhajati mam. Bhajan. Bhajan means bhaj. Bhaj means to glorify again. Kirtan, glorify. is very, in many places the word bhajati is expressed in relationship with the service of the Supreme Lord. If a person is engaged in full Krishna conscious, the devotional service of the Lord, it is to be understood that he has understood all the Vedic knowledge. Serving Krishna with full faith means one has understood the essence of all Vedic scriptures. Such a beautiful statement, right? And one, what is the essence of all Vedic knowledge? Is to take complete shelter of Krishna. In Vaishnava Parampara, it is said that if one is engaged in the devotional service of Krishna, then there is no need for any other spiritual process for understanding the supreme absolute truth. And that is a fact. Because if you see, the gopis are considered as the highest form of devotees, highest devotees. But we have never seen anywhere where all the gopis are sitting together and they are trying to understand the scriptures in a very deeper way. Why? Because they have understood the essence of all scriptures, and that is to love and serve Krishna. In fact, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya also, he was trying to understand Vedic scripture in a very philosophical way. But then when he sat with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, it was very difficult for him to read any words where the word mukti is mentioned. And he wanted to convert every word where mukti is there to bhakti. Why? Because bhajan. Because he understood that the essence of all Vedic scriptures is to take shelter or to serve Krishna. Serve Krishna. And there is no need for any other spiritual process for understanding the supreme absolute truth. He has already come to the point because he is engaged in the devotional service of the Lord. He has ended all preliminary process of understanding. That faith is so high that the basic understanding one has, preliminary process of which one might have, he has kept it aside because one has developed uh, complete understanding that I have to just serve Krishna. I have to just serve Krishna. But if anyone, after speculating for hundreds of thousands of lives, does not come to the point that Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead and that one has to surrender there, all his speculation for so many years and lives is a useful waste of time. He's completely wasted his time. There is a story. Once a devotee was sitting in a train and he was reading Bhagavad Gita, and in front of, he was sitting on a higher berth. In Indian local trains, we have higher berth, lower berth. So he was sitting in a higher berth, and he saw that the other person was just sitting. He didn't know what to do, so he was just sitting. And then when he was sitting there, so next station came, and the other person, not the devotee, the other person, because he was sitting and he didn't know what to do, he got some magazines from the station, and then he started reading that magazine and all. And this other devotee, the devotee himself, he was just reading Bhagavad Gita. And when the other person's, his stop came, his station came, so he left those magazines there and he was about to get down. So this devotee asked him that, hey, it's your magazines you bought and you spent so much. You forgot at the place, at this place. And he said, no, it's raddi hai. It is waste. And this devotee was mentioning in the class that that entire waste he was putting into his head from last 2 to 3 hours or whatever it is, right? So when we speculate for many years and lives in a useless waste of time, but we have not understood that Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead, then he himself, when the devotee and the person who is not a devotee also understand that he's wasting his time, but the attachment to the material world is so strong that one is not able to go to the next level of serving Krishna. And that attachment also, how that attachment comes is because of the ichha. Ichha Dvesha Samuthena Dandu Mohena Bharata. That first, the reason one is struggling in this material world is because of the ichha that I want to enjoy without Krishna. And then Krishna gives that facility for one to enjoy without Krishna. That because of that ichha, one one is not able to take up the new. And why it is? Because of Krishna only. Why? Through Krishna's energy. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita in the previous verse. So can we go to 9:10? The 9:11 that you are seeing, no? Just previous verse. You can go to the new tab. Okay, no problem. In this here he says, Maya Dakshina Prakriti Suyate Sacharacharam Hetu Nanena Kaunteya Jagad Viparivartite. The entire material world is actually acting under me. I am the director of the entire material world. So that one who is illusioned by the material energy is indirectly because of Krishna. And obviously, major reason is Ichha, and ultimate reason is uh, why it is able to happen is because of Krishna's energy. Okay, Prabhu, we can go to the next verse, the 11th verse. So sorry, we derailed a little bit. We'll go back to the fourth paragraph. No, we were in. Yeah. So, Muda. For only foolish persons consider Krishna to be an ordinary human being. The foolish consider Krishna an ordinary human being because they do not know the confidential activities of Supreme Lord and his different energies. They do not know that Krishna's body is a symbol of complete knowledge and bliss, and he is a proprietor of everything that be and that he can award liberation to anyone. Because they do not know that Krishna has so many transcendental qualifications, they deride him. Deride him. So, uh, one doesn't understand completely that Krishna, what it means when we say Krishna is God. Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. Different people have different understanding of the word God. If you ask someone God, someone might say it's light. Now, which light? Neon light, flashlight, or tube light, or bulb? Don't know. Some light. Or someone might say Krishna is love. What kind of, or God is love? What kind of love? Is the love between a mediocre husband and wife, or a love between a boyfriend and girlfriend, or a love between a mother and a child? What kind of love? Or for some people, God just means one who generates, one who operates, and one who destroys. God. And nowadays, in politicized situation, some people God means gas, oil, and defense. In the note it is mentioned, in God we trust, and what that God basically for many people nowadays is gas, oil, defense. So different people have different understanding God. For some people God is everything, for some people God is nothing, for some people God is anything, and for some people God is something. But what is the definition of God? Once we understand the definition of God, then we understand what Krishna, what we really mean when we say Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead, what we mean. And God in Sanskrit, it means Bhagavan. And Parashar Muni has given a beautiful definition of Bhagavan in Vishnu Puran. So in the next how much time we have? 30 minutes only. In next 40 minutes, we will discuss about the definition of God, and by this we can understand how great Krishna is. Because sometimes it is important, before we enter into the sweetness of Krishna, it is important for us to understand the greatness of Krishna. Because sometimes by seeing the sweetness of Krishna, we might get so enamored or illusioned by his simple ordinary behavior, we might take him as an ordinary child. Like Vaishravu says in Vrindavan, every Vrajavasis, how they offer to Krishna is they say, "Hey, can I eat?" Right? With a very personal way. But that is their rasa with Krishna, and if we try to imitate it, we might end up doing some offenses. Right? So before understanding the sweetness of Krishna, we need to understand his greatness, how great Krishna is. And when we can understand that, and then we will not fools deride him and take him as an ordinary person. That kind of offense one might not do. One understands that what really Bhagwan or God means. So Parashar Muni is very nicely given the definition of God or Bhagwan, which is mentioned in Vishnu Puran, and he says, Aishwarasya samagrasya. Aishwarasya samagrasya viryasya yashasa shriya. Jnana vairagya yash chaiva shannam bhagam itingana. It means as Aishwarasya, samagrasya, of all, everything, all the wealth, all the possessor of opulences. So first I'll go to the last line. Shannam Bhagavan Itinganam. Itingam. It means that Shannam, the six opulences, Bhagwan, one who is Bhagwan, he possesses these six opulences. Itingana is defined as. We say that God or something is defined as. So where these statements come from? In today's world, these statements are coming from, but originally it came actually from Vedic scriptures. Defined as. Even they used to define, first thing they defined is who is God. Right? So like that in scripture that is defined who is God. Shannam Bhagwan Itingana. It means that basically Lord is defined as one who possesses 6 opulences. And what are those 6 opulences? First, Parashar Muni is saying, Aishwarasya, Samagrasya, one who has all the wealth. And then he says, Viryasya, Yashasa, Shriya. Viryasya means one who has all the strength. We'll discuss each one of these opulences in detail. Viryasya means one who has all strength. Viryasya, Yashasha means fame. One who has all fame. And Shriya means Shri means beauty. Srimati Radharani, Lakshmi, Shri Lakshmi ji. She is all beautiful. So, Shriya means beauty. So, Aishwaryasya Samagrasya. Aishwaryasya means one who has all wealth. Viryasya means one who has all strength. Then Yashasa means one who has all fame. And Shri means one who has all beauty. And then fifth is Shannam. Jnana means one who has all knowledge. And then finally, Vairagya means renunciation. So, one who has all wealth, all strength, all fame, then all beauty, all knowledge, and finally, all renunciation. And yet, all renunciation. So, when one has all these 6 opulences in full, not little bit here and there, but in full, then that is defined as Bhagwan. And Krishna is defined as Bhagwan. Why we can say that? Because in scriptures, Krishna is not said as Krishna Uvacha. Krishna is said as Bhagwan Uvacha. For Rudra, it is Rudra Uvacha. For Brahma, it is Brahma Uvacha. For Dhritarashtra, it is Dhritarashtra Uvacha. For Arjuna, it is Arjuna Uvacha. But for Krishna, it is Bhagwan Uvacha. So Krishna is Bhagwan, and Krishna possesses. He's the ultimate proprietor, his ultimate controller, his ultimate enjoyer. He possesses all these 6 opulences. So we'll now go through all these 6 opulences. And because he's possessing all these 6 opulences, he is all attractive. And that is why Krishna is known as Krishna, because he's all attractive. What does Krishna mean? Krishna means one who is all attractive. If think about it, little bit also, if we have in this world also, we can see if anyone has any of these 6 opulences, wealth, fame, or you can say YouTube, one has million subscribers, like fame, or one who has all strength, like let's say Muhammad Ali or some personality who has a lot of strength, he automatically becomes very attractive. People automatically gets attracted to them. But they're not all attractive because it is temporary. But Krishna is considered all attractive because someone might have highest fame but might not have all strength. Right? And one might have all this, but one might be so much attached to those opulences, might not be renunciate. So Krishna has all these opulences and he is all renunciate. And that is why it's said that Krishna is Bhagwan. We'll go through each of these 6 very beautiful 6 opulences which are defined by Parashar Muni. So first is Krishna has all wealth. Yes, today I was seeing one video when I was going through this on YouTube. Sometimes this comes from last 10 years, which year someone was maybe richest person, which quarter, which year one was richest, and second, which quarter, which. So that bars are there, how much he was possessing and who was first, second. So that entire video is showing that how at every year it is changing. Sometimes it was Bill Gates, sometimes it was Warren Buffett, sometimes it was Zara, some CEO was there, sometimes Walmart CEO was there. It was continuously changing. Mukesh Ambani was there. Then sometime there was Adani was there. So it is changing. The wealth is not constant. The rank is not constant. It is changing. Sometimes Jeff Bezos is there. Sometimes Elon Musk is there. Sometimes someone else is there. But nobody can say that Krishna's wealth today is this much and now it has reduced. Now someone else is possessing the highest wealth. It is not like that in Krishna's case, because Krishna is holding all opulences at all times. He's holding all the wealth at all times. And that is why Krishna is Bhagwan, because he has all the wealth. One cannot say that I have something that Krishna doesn't have. Actually, there is a story where Akbar and they just Akbar and Birbal, they were chatting together, and Akbar said that Birbal was trying to little bit sarcasm. He was trying to apply to Akbar, and he said that you have something even God doesn't have. God doesn't do, and you can do that. And Akbar thought, seriously, ऐसा भी है? What? then he said, what is that? And then Birbal said, you can throw out someone from your kingdom, but God cannot do. Why? Because God possesses everything. God possesses everything. He cannot throw anyone from his kingdom because he possesses everything. How can he throw someone out of the kingdom? Everything that is there, it's his. So whenever we think of wealth, we think of verse 10.8 from Bhagavad Gita, which says, Aham sarvasya prabhava matah sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvita. Buddha, one who is intelligent, he understands that Aham sarvasya prabhava. That Krishna is saying, Aham sarvasya prabhava. Very uncompromising way. One might think, oh, he's why is Krishna glorifying himself? He's not glorifying himself. Arjuna is asking Krishna to please explain about Krishna more so that his love for Krishna increases. So Krishna is telling about this. Because sometimes we might go for book distribution. Once I was in book distribution, I think it was Fremont, some Indian store, and one guy came and said that Krishna is glorifying himself only in Bhagavad Gita, right? But he's not trying to glorify himself. So if someone might ask you, what is your position? And if you're CEO of the company, you will say, yeah, I'm the CEO of the company. You will not say, oh, I'm the servant of that company. You will say, I'm the CEO of the company. So Arjuna is just asking Krishna that tell me about you. And why? Obviously, the main reason Arjuna is asking is because for us to understand who Krishna is, and obviously for Arjuna's love for Krishna to increase. And so Krishna says, Aham sarvasya prabhava. I possess everything. I pervade everywhere. Aham sarvasya prabhava mata sarvam pravartate. Iti matva bhajante mam. And one who understands this, he will take shelter of me. Buddha bhava samanvita. Because an intelligent person, when he understands this, he will take shelter of me. Buddha bhava samanvita. Why? Because Krishna is the possessor of of everything. So uh, one might think that we have the all the wealth, but actually Krishna possesses everything. When Narad Muni came to Dwarka, he was actually shocked to see Krishna's each palace. Krishna having 16,108 wives, and every wife's palace was as good as better than even one universe. It was so magnanimous and opulent. And Narad Muni completely got uh, shocked. So that is opulence of Krishna. There is a pastime of Nanda Maharaj. Vrindavan, sometimes we think, oh, Dwarka is very opulent, but what about Vrindavan, right? Because Vrindavan, Krishna stays in Vrindavan. So there we don't see so much opulence. And then once there is a beautiful story of Brajvasis. They once Nanda Maharaj, he was doing some his evening rituals, and what happened is he missed the time of the ritual. So Varuna, the servants of Varuna, they took him to Varuna Lok. And then when he took Nanda Maharaj is son of Krishna. So it took him to Varuna Lok because he missed some time of the ritual. So Krishna then reached to Varuna Lok to take Nanda Maharaj. And as soon as Varuna saw Krishna entering his own entering his abode, Varuna's abode. So Varuna was feeling very scared also, at the same time very humbled also. And Nand Maharaj was thinking, Varuna's lok is so glorious. And that Varuna is offering obeisances to Krishna, my Krishna. So Nand Maharaj was confused. And then Nand Maharaj, then imagine your son is there, and you take him as a very ordinary child, and suddenly some police officers are coming and you know uh, giving a salute to your son, and suddenly you will get confused that what is my son? Who is my son? I mean, I thought he's an ordinary child. So like that Varuna, who is demigod, he's offering his obeisances to Krishna. So Nanda Maharaj got confused, and then Nand Maharaj was telling this entire story to Brajvasis. And then Brajvasis, the story about how he went to Varuna Lok, and what is the opulence of Varuna Lok. So Brajvasis were thinking, yeah, Nand Maharaj is so fortunate, he could go to Varuna Lok, such an opulent place, and we are stuck here in Vrindavan. So Krishna, sometimes familiarity breeds contempt, right? What you have, you might not. And obviously, this is a pastime to teach us. And then Krishna thinks that these guys are not able to understand what they are getting. They are in Vrindavan. So Krishna takes all of them to Akrura Ghat. It's called also Brahmarada, that place. There's a place where Akrura saw when he was taking Krishna and Balram to Mathura from Vrindavan. So Akrura saw Krishna and Balram as Lord Vishnu and Ananta Shesh on that place. That's why it's also known as Akrura Ghat. So there, Krishna showed the Vrindavan Vasis the entire vision of Vishnu Lok, uh, all the spiritual planets, all the Vaikunthas, including Golok Vrindavan. And when these Brajvasis saw Golok Vrindavan, they said, "Hey, this is the same as mine. Oh, this is the opulence." And then they understood that Krishna's opulence is unmatched, right? So we are hankering to get darshan or Lakshmi's darshan on us, and thousands of Lakshmis are massaging the feet of Krishna. In Brahma Samhita, it is mentioned Chintamani Prakara Sadma Shukalpa Vriksha Lakshavriteshu Surabhira Bipalayantam Lakshmi Sahasra, thousands of Lakshmis. Lakshmi Sahasra Shatasambhrama Sevyamanam Govindam Adi Purusham Tam Hamajan. So that Govinda, I'm offering my respectful obeisances, whose feet is massaged by thousands of Lakshmi Devis. Thousands of Lakshmi Devis. So that is the opulence of Lord Krishna. That is the wealth that Lord Krishna possesses. So next is wealth. Wealth we completed. Next is Aishwarasya, Samagrasya, Viryasya, strength. Or what to talk about? Lord Krishna's strength. In Nectar of Devotion, Rupa Goswami explains one of the qualities, 64 qualities of Krishna. One of the qualities is Lord Krishna's strength. And we see that in various pastimes of Krishna killing various demons. And obviously the pastime where Krishna is lifting the Govardhana hill. So can we go to the verse number 18th, chapter 38th verse of CC Madhya Lila? CC Madhya Lila, 18th chapter, verse number 38. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram,
Madhya you said, Prabhu?
Hare. 1838. Madhya Lila, 1838. 38. So once Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was going to Vrindavan and he reached Govardhana hill. And there he started glorifying Govardhana by beautiful prayers. And one of the prayers he read glorifying Govardhana was this. Vamas tamara sakasya vamas tamara साक्षस्य भुजदंड सपातुव क्रीडा कंडूकताम येन नीतो गोवर्धनो गिरी गोवर्धन गिरी one who is holding. So what I mentioned, vamas means left hand, the left. Tamaras of Krishna who has uh, lotus like petals, right? Aksha means the eyes, and lotus like eyes. Bhujadanda, arm, right? So Krishna, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying that left arm of Krishna, if that left arm can protect me, I'll be very, very grateful. Why is asking for protection from the left arm? Because that left arm of Krishna was holding the Govardhana hill. And how he was holding the Govardhana hill is just like pinky finger on the using his left finger. Uh, he was holding the Govardhana hill. So he's saying that Sri Mahaprabhu said, may the left arm of Sri Krishna, whose eyes are like the petals of lotus flower, always protect you. With his left arm, he raised the Govardhana hill as if how it was. Kandukatam yena. Krida means like a playful toy he was holding. Krishna was holding the Govardhana hill. And that is, for ordinary person, that's a great feat. But devotees, they understand that this is Krishna can do much more. This is just as Lord Ananta Shesh, he's holding millions and millions of universes uh, just by his extraordinary power. So what to say of one Govardhana hill? Once Srila Prabhupada told his disciple that you draw Krishna holding Govardhana hill. So the disciple drew Lord Krishna holding the Govardhana hill, but the disciple showed Krishna as having muscular bodies and biceps and all, and a very strong body. And then Srila Prabhupada said that you don't have to show Krishna as a very biceps and all. We see today, nowadays, we see some serials where Lord Ram and Krishna is shown and with a lot of biceps and all. But Krishna is supremacy of God. He doesn't have to have biceps to hold something. Right? He doesn't have to have some muscular muscles to hold something, because just by his power He can hold anything and everything. So that is Krishna. That is Krishna. So, and we see that Srila Prabhupada used to say that the man is holding the earth. There is a story, there is a atlas, I think, there is where the man is holding the earth like this, and he is so much in pain. So Srila Prabhupada says Krishna was never in pain when he's holding the Govardhana hill. So, but just holding the earth also, which no one is holding, but one can understand that holding the earth can be so painful, right? But Krishna is holding planets and planets and Govardhana hill, but with no pain. So that is Krishna's strength. That is Krishna's strength. So there is another beautiful verse. It is in 9th chapter, 24th. It's Srimad Bhagavatam canto, 9th chapter, 24th verse, 24th chapter, 9th canto, 24th chapter, verse number 66. We'll read both 66 and 67. Srimad Bhagavatam 9, 24, 66. Oh, we have 8, 10, no? We have some more time. 66. Yeah. So here he is talking about how he killed the demons. Jato gata pitra grihad vrajam editartho hat हत्वा रिपूर्ण सुत शतानि कृतोरुराधार उत्पाद्यतेषु पुरुष क्रतुभिः समीजे आत्मानम् आत्मनिगमं प्रथयन् जनेषु तो गतः पितृगृहाद् एतितार्थो. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, known as Leela Purushottam, appeared as a son of Vasudev, but immediately left his father's home and went to Vrindavan to expand his loving relationship with his confidential devotees. In Vrindavan, the Lord killed many demons, right? He killed many, many demons. How? Through his strength. And afterwards, showcasing his strength. And afterwards, he returned to Dwarka, where, according to Vedic principles, he married many wives who were the best of women, begot through them hundreds of sons, and performed sacrifices for his own worship to establish the principles of householder life. And the next verse, he says how he killed all the Yadus also. So can we go to the next verse? We can go to the verse, or we can go to translation only. We don't have that much time. Thereafter, Lord Sri Krishna created a misunderstanding between family members. And there, here, the very important verse is Drishtya Vidhuya Vijaye Jayam Udvigoshya. He killed everyone. He destructed entire Yaduvamsha, Yadavas, just by glance. He destroys everything by glance. He creates everything by glance. He honors the bhoga, or for our case, we honor the prasadam. He enjoys the bhoga. He enjoys the bhoga through his glance. His glance is very powerful. And someone's, if he puts his glance on that devotee or a person, he will get prema of the Lord. So that is, the glance of the Lord is so powerful. That is the strength of his glance. So in 7:11 also, Prabhu, can we go to Bhagavad Gita 7th chapter, verse number 11? There he talks about how among the strength he is the strong. Bala balavatam chaham, kama raga vivarjitam. 7th chapter, verse number 11. So here he says, Balam balavatam chaham, kama raga vivarjitam, dharma viruddha bhuteshu, kamosmi bhartarshava. I am the strength of the strong, devoid of passion and desire. Right? So Krishna is strength of the strong. One who has strength also, he is the one who provides that strength. That's what Parashar Muni is saying by saying that Viryasya, Krishna possesses all strength. So we completed wealth, we completed Viryasya. Next is Krishna is all famous, which is Yashasa. So Krishna is famous not just by for his rasa dance or something, but because he had spotless character. Krishna had spotless character, and that's when one becomes famous. Otherwise, one will become famous for wrong reasons. But uh, Krishna is having a spotless character, right? And we see that he's so famous. It's been 5,000 years, and still we are glorifying him, right? There are so many demons comes and goes, but we don't remember him. And even if we are remembering him, it is because in relationship with Krishna. We remember Hiranyakashipu every day morning. We are glorifying. It's because of Narsimhadev and Prahlad Maharaj, right? So Krishna's fame is eternal. Bhagwan, Brahmaji, that's why he's saying, right? Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha Anadir Anadir Govinda Sarva Karna Karanam. From the time he is born, from that time he has been glorifying Krishna. Ananda Shesh has been glorifying him. He is so famous. Krishna is so famous. In fact, There's a very sweet pastime of Narad Muni. Narad Muni was once glorifying Krishna, and he was saying that just by your glorification, just when we glorify Krishna, everything becomes white. So once when he was, Rupa Goswami explains this, he says that the way Narad Muni was glorifying Krishna, that Lord Shiva's line, that Neel, the blue line that has come, because of, apparently because of drinking the poison, that turned white just by Narad Muni glorifying Krishna. Balram wearing yellow dhoti became white, and the Yamuna, which is dark complexion Yamuna, that also became white. And the gopis thought that it's milk, and they started churning the Yamuna. So Lord Krishna's pastimes is so sweet, and that's why he's so famous. He's so famous. Uh, and that is the most important thing we have to understand, is that Krishna is very famous, and when we tap onto that famous personality, that's when we can get delivered. Yesterday I was uh, the fame of Prahlad Maharaj, right? Prahlad Maharaj is so famous. Yesterday I was chanting, and suddenly I was seeing at the backyard, and there was one insect just crawling, and basically there were ants who were trying to disturb that that snail or something. So snail was trying to run here and there to protect herself or himself from that ants. And I was thinking that poor snail trying hard to protect. And then I was thinking, if I don't chant properly, next life I will be that snail. So that's why it is very important to remember Krishna and his fame, that he is the deliverer from this material world. That is Krishna's fame. What is Krishna's fame? Krishna's fame, how one can become famous, because even if we become famous, next life we have to start from zero. But Prahlad Maharaj, the real fame, Ramananda Rai was asked by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that what is the real fame? The real fame is to become the servant of the servant of the servant of the servant of the Lord. That is the real fame. That's what Ramananda Rai tells. And Prahlad Maharaj is actually showing that he could have got so much wealth from Hiranyakashipu, but what he preferred to be as the fame is as being the devotee of the Lord, being the devotee of the Lord. And that's why Lord Krishna is also very famous. So we completed three: wealth, he's all strong, he's all famous, and especially he's all beautiful. He's all beautiful. Krishna's beauty is so much. We are so much struck with our own beauty. What to call out Krishna's beauty? There is a story where some people started complaining that the lift is very slow. If you want to go from ground floor to topmost floor, the lift is very slow. So the management, what they did is they put a mirror in the lift, and people started stop complaining. Why? Because we are because as soon as people entered the lift, the first thing they see is their own face, and then they forget where they are. Why? Because face is very attractive, and Krishna is all attractive. Krishna's beauty is all attractive. But once we are at purified state, that's when we can understand Krishna's beauty. This is mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam in the Gopi Geet. So can we go to 10:31:15? Showing Krishna's beauty. We are just skipping some verses because of lack of time. 10:31:15.
15.
This is Gopi Geet. So this explains Krishna's beauty. 15th verse, Prabhu. We can go. Yeah. Atati. Yeah. Atati yad bhavan ahanikanam truti yugayate त्वाम अपश्यताम कुटिलकुंतलम श्रीमुखम चते जड़ा उदीक्षताम पक pakshmatridrisham. Translation. So this is the gopis are glorifying Krishna's beauty. When you go off to the forest during a day, a tiny fraction of a second, imagine tiny fraction of a second, and that is here it is mentioned, I think it is around one of 1700 of a second. Like it feels like a millennium for us because we cannot see you. And even when we can eagerly look upon your beautiful face, so lovely with its adornment of curly locks, our pleasure is hindered by our eyeballs, which were fashioned by the foolish creator. Right? So this is the beauty of Krishna. Krishna is extremely, extremely beautiful. And that's why when we go into the morning, what we are actually seeing is darshan of Krishna. At the same time, we are also asking that Krishna, through his glance, sees also and purifies us. But we also taking Krishna, darshan of Krishna, because there are a lot of things in this world to see, but that will not purify us. But Krishna's beauty is all purifying. So that is the glorification of Krishna. Uh, so yeah, we have only 10 minutes. So we completed 4. Now next is Krishna's knowledge. Krishna is all knowing, right? And that is very obvious. Krishna is all knowing. Krishna says uh, in 15:15. Prabhu, can we go to the chapter Bhagavad Gita 15, chapter verse number 15? Vedanta Kridveda Videva Chaham. He says, yeah, this is we are talking about Krishna is all knowledgeable. So he says, Sarvasya Chaham Ridisa Nivishta Matah Smritirgyanam Apohanam Cha Vedesha Sarver Aham Eva Vedyo Vedanta Kridveda Videva Chaham. He says, Sarvasya Chaham Ridisa Nivishta Matah Smritirgyanam Apohanam Cha Vedesha Sarver. Among the Vedas, I am to be known, yet I am creator. Vedanta Kridveda Videva Chaham. I am seated in everyone's heart, and from me come remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. By all the Vedas, I am to be known. Indeed, I am the compiler of the Vedanta and I am the knower of the Vedas. Krishna is all knowledgeable. Krishna says in other place also in verse number 26 of chapter 7 chapter. So can we go to 7:26? There he says, Veda aham samatitani vartamanani charjuna bhavishyani cha bhutani mam tu vedana kasyana. We can all see together. So he says, Vedaham samatitani vartamanani charjuna bhavishyani cha bhutani mam tu vedana kasyana. O Arjuna, as a supreme personality of Godhead, I know everything that has happened in the past, all that is happening in the present, and all things that are yet to come. I also know all living entities, but me no one knows. Right? Krishna is all knowing. Krishna knows the past, present, and future. And we don't know our present. We don't present also we don't know properly because we are so much uh, engrossed in our daily problems that what is happening in the present be that's why we say present be present or the yeah present now, and similarly future we don't know, past we don't know, but Krishna is saying Vedaham Swaditani Vartmanani Charjuna. I know everything. If there is a discussion between Arjuna and Krishna where Arjuna is asking Krishna that how am I supposed to know that you know everything. So can we go to 4th chapter? There is a discussion 4, 5, 6. I think those are the verses. Yeah. So here he says, Arjuna said, the sun god Vivashwan is senior by birth to you. How am I to understand that in the beginning you instructed this science to him? Personality of Godhead said, many, many births both you and I have passed. I can remember all of them, but you cannot, O subduer of enemies. So Krishna is saying to Arjuna, I can remember everything. I am all knowledgeable. Although I am unborn and my transcendental body never deteriorates, and although I am the Lord of all living entities, I still appear in every millennium uh, and in my original transcendental form. So here he is saying, in the 5th verse, he is saying that I remember all of them because he is all knowledgeable. We see that in a very sweet pastime of Bhishma Dev and in Mahabharat war, where Bhishma Dev could have completed the entire war within a day. He had so much strength, but somehow he was not doing it, and Duryodhan got very angry, and he tried to poke him by saying that you are taking the side of Pandavas and all that, and Bhishma Dev got very irritated by that continuous poke because as Kshatriya one cannot tolerate that one is saying that one is questioned about his side. That basically you're saying that you are cheating and you're taking the side of others. As a Kshatriya, one cannot tolerate. So he said, I will, this, he, through his mantras, he took out 5 arrows and he said, these 5 arrows will be the cause of death of Arjuna, all the Pandavas tomorrow. And then Duryodhan said, I will keep those arrows. But Krishna is all knowledgeable. Krishna knew that now Duryodhan has got those 5 arrows. So he sends Arjuna to Duryodhan's kutir or whatever camp in the evening. In the evening, they can come together like that. But in the afternoon and days, they used to fight. So in the night, Arjuna came to Duryodhana and said that I want something. And then Duryodhana said that, oh, you want the kingdom, I can give you. And then Arjuna says, no, that I will fight and take. For now, just give me these 5 arrows. And Duryodhana understands that this Krishna only has done. So Krishna is all knowledgeable. In this pastime where Draupadi, Durvasa Muni came at the kutir, and Draupadi had nothing remaining, and that one pot, that one grain of rice was there, and suddenly Krishna was just walking by. Imagine, because he's all knowledgeable, right? So uh, and then when he eats that one grain of rice, he feels satisfied, and Durvasa Muni also feels satisfied. So Krishna is all knowledgeable. He knows everything. He knows everything. And finally, having all these opulences, one might have pride. But Krishna is completely detached. Krishna is all renunciate, right? And uh, one might think that one who leaves the battlefield, right, there will be all negative to it, negative to that person. But Krishna is glorified as Ranchod. Krishna is glorified as Ranchod. Why he did that? Obviously, to deliver Muchukunda also, and at the same time, he wanted to glorify Bhima by Bhima giving a chance to kill Jarasan, right? But here he says he's not detached. He's not attached to the fame that, okay, I will be the one who will be killing Jarasan. He allowed Bhima to take that glorification. He gives the credit to Arjuna also. He tells Arjuna that you should fight because I want to give this credit to you. So this is the beauty, because Krishna is all renunciate. And he's also ready to be a liar, to be called as a liar. Because in this entire pastime, Bhishma gets very upset that Krishna, he's not going to fight, but he's doing all these manipulations in the battlefield. So then he's basically 5 arrows and all. So Bhishma that day, he says that, Krishna, I will make sure that you will pick up the weapon now, because you have promised that you will not take up the weapon, but you are doing all this. Now I will make sure that you pick up the weapon. And Krishna, because Bhishma is such a dear devotee of the Lord, Krishna says that, okay, I will break my promise just for you, O Bhishma. And then he picks up that weapon. And one might say he's a liar. He says that he's going to not fight, he's not going to pick up the weapon, but he picked up the weapon, but he's ready to take that position for his devotee, right? He's so detached for his name. For him, main thing is his loving reciprocation with his devotees. He takes the humble position of becoming the charioteer of Krishna, of Arjuna. He becomes in Rajsuya Yagya, he takes the humble position of washing the feet of Brahmanas. Brahmanas are the one who are offering oblations to Krishna, and that Krishna is washing the feet of the Brahmanas. And this is the beauty of Krishna's sweetness. But before knowing the Krishna's sweetness, one has to understand his greatness. And when one understands his greatness, then one can one will not be illusioned and take him as an ordinary personality, but will understand that he is a great personality and he is supreme personality of Godhead. So how one can understand that Krishna is supreme is by knowing his greatness, by understanding that why he is Bhagwan. We have 3 minutes. I just want to tell one story between uh, uh, the gopis of Vrindavan and Krishna. So once Krishna approached the gopis of Vrindavan and said that on that other side of Yamuna, there is a rishi. His name is Durvasa Muni, and he's not the same Durvasa Muni, some other Durvasa Muni, and he is very hungry. So he told the gopis, "Can you please make some prasadam for him?" So she said, "Okay." They said, "Okay, we will make." And they made the food and all, and then they reached the bank of the river. And then when they reached the bank of the river, the Yamuna, they could not cross the river. How will they cross the river? So Krishna said that you chant this mantra, and the Yamuna will give you the path to reach to the other side. The gopis are thinking, okay, what is that mantra? So the Krishna said, the mantra is you should chant Krishna Nitya Brahmachari. And the gopis think, you are Brahmachari? Yesterday you were doing Raslila with me. You have so many wives, and you are telling that you are Brahmachari? So Krishna said, just say, when you are in Yamuna, just say this, Krishna Nitya Brahmachari. So and if it is true, then automatically the Yamuna will give way to go to the other side. So Krishna the gopis chanted Krishna Nitya Brahmachari, and then the Yamuna gave way. The gopis crossed the ocean, crossed the river, and they went to the other side. Durvasa Muni ate the prasadam, and when they were coming back again, they were stuck. They again said, Krishna Nitya Brahmachari. The Yamuna again gave way. They again came this side, and but entire route they were confused that Krishna Nitya Brahmachari, Krishna is not Brahmachari. And then they came back and then they said, then they asked Krishna, how can you say Krishna Nitya Brahmachari? How should I understand this? And then Krishna said, Krishna Nitya Brahmachari. Brahmachari means Brahma iti Brahmachari, one who is completely detached is Brahmachari. And Krishna, and basically Krishna is like that. In the middle of Rasa Leela, Krishna understood that the gopis are getting a little bit of pride. And then Krishna suddenly disappeared. So Krishna is never attached to anyone. That is the beauty of Krishna. And that's why Krishna is the supreme renunciate. And these are the six opulences of Krishna. I'll just repeat the verse again of the opulences of the Bhagavan. Aishwarasya samagrasya viryasya yashasa shriya jnana vairagyas sharnam Bhagavan itingana. When one understands Krishna's these six opulences, one can understand the greatness of Krishna. Okay, thank you very much. It's 8:30. Maybe we can 1 minute we can take one reflection and then we can end. If anyone wants to share anything, please feel free.
Please unmute your mic and you can share your comments, any questions you have also.
Yeah, we have only yeah, it's almost time, so we'll not take much time of everyone. Anyone wants to share anything?
Yes, Prabhu, this is a wonderful description of all the opulences of Lord Krishna. And I was also thinking about his all beauty when
Mm,
Lord Krishna was in Dwarka, right? He was thinking, why everyone is so attracted to me? And
yeah,
then he sets his own image, right, on the floor, and he gets attracted to himself, basically, like he's so beautiful that, he's getting attracted to his
yeah.
own beauty, basically.
So
So,
his kingdom was filled up with stones. So one of the stone, emerald stone, I mean, one of the gems he saw, and he was seeing his reflection and was saying that who is this personality so attractive? Thank
yes.
you, Dr. Madhav.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll stop here. Thank you so much for patiently listening. Please forgive if I said something wrong. Hare Krishna. वांछा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिंधुभ्यश्च च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवभ्यो नमो नमः। श्री प्रभुपाद की जय।
श्री अच्युता कुमार चैतन्य प्रभु की जय।
हरे
Devote.
कृष्ण। बोल।
Thank you, devotees, for joining, taking time from your busy lives and joining on the weekdays. We'll meet again next Wednesday. Hari Bol.
बोल।